Today's Mass readings. July 27, 2020. Monday of the 17th week in Ordinary Time. First reading. A reading from the book of the prophet Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 13 verse 1 to 11. The Lord said to me, "Go buy yourself a linen loincloth. Wear it on your loins, but do not put it in water." I bought the loincloth, as the Lord commanded, and put it on. A second time the word of the Lord came to me thus: "Take the loincloth which you bought and are wearing, and go now to the Perith. There hide it in a cleft of the rock." Obedient to the Lord's command, I went to the Perith, and buried the loincloth. After a long interval, the Lord said to me, "Go now to the Perith and fetch the loincloth, which I told you to hide there." Again I went to the Perith, sought out and took the loincloth from the place where I had hid it. But it was rotted, good for nothing. Then the message came to me from the Lord: "Thus says the Lord, so also I will allow the pride of Judah to rot, the great pride of Jerusalem. This wicked people who refuse to obey my words, who walk in the stubbornness of their hearts, and follow strange gods to serve and adore them, shall be like this loincloth which is good for nothing. For, as close as the loincloth clings to a man's loins, so had I made the whole house of Israel, and the whole house of Judah cling to me, says the Lord, to be my people, my renown, my praise, my beauty. But they did not listen." The word of the Lord. Responsorial Psalm. Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 18 to 21. Let our response be: "You have forgotten God who gave you birth. You were unmindful of the rock that begot you. You forgot the God who gave you birth." When the Lord saw this, he was filled with loathing and anger toward his sons and daughters. "You have forgotten God who gave you birth. I will hide my face from them," he said, "and see what will then become of them. What a fickle race they are, sons with no loyalty in them. You have forgotten God who gave you birth. Since they have provoked me with their no God and angered me with their vain idols, I will provoke them with a no people. With a foolish nation I will anger them. You have forgotten God who gave you birth." Gospel reading. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Matthew chapter 13 verse 31 to 35. Jesus proposed a parable to the crowds. "The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed that a person took and sowed in a field. It is the smallest of all the seeds, yet when full grown it is the largest of plants. It becomes a large bush, and the birds of the sky come and dwell in its branches." He spoke to them another parable. "The kingdom of heaven is like yeast that a woman took and mixed with 3 measures of wheat flour, until the whole batch was leavened." All these things Jesus spoke to the crowds in parables. He spoke to them only in parables, to fulfill what had been said through the prophet: "I will open my mouth in parables. I will announce what has lain hidden from the foundation of the world." The Gospel of the Lord. Before we proceed with the video, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Also, please hit the notification bell, so you won't miss out when we release new videos. Feel free to share your comments, suggestions, and reflections at the comments section down below. Thank you and God bless. Now, let's proceed with the video. The reflection on today's Gospel. Jesus' words exude optimism. The kingdom is a small seed, the smallest one, that grows into a big tree. Do we share that optimism, based on faith? Or are we the eternal doubters, looking for signs that dispense with the need of faith and trust? I look around me and inside me at the signs of the presence of the kingdom, often very small but strong and growing. Jesus' words exude optimism. The kingdom is a small seed, the smallest one, that grows into a big tree. Do we share that optimism, based on faith? Or are we the eternal doubters, looking for signs that dispense with the need of faith and trust? I look around me and inside me at the signs of the presence of the kingdom, often very small but strong and growing. Again, the quantity of yeast is small, yet its effect is much bigger than its size. For this to happen, the yeast must be at one with the rest of the dough, and even the smallest of separations would render it ineffective. Outwardly it loses its identity. In fact, it is the only way it can fulfill its mission. How true this is of the Church and of its mission. I pray that the Church may grow closer to the kingdom, to fulfill its mission of bringing the good news to all nations.